Ted's baptismal Spirit Wild Fest.
I got the try.
Peter, Paul, and Mary, I rock.
I'll be the guitar player, you just dance naked. The stealth and silence of hunting revs my batteries up to absolute tsunami overload in time to, take people's heads clean off with my guitar. It's a beautiful thing.
The New American Sportsman is presented by Miller High Life.
With over 30 million albums sold, Ted Nugent is considered the #1 guitar showman in the world. Known best for his outrageous stage presence, Ted credits his years of energy and passion to his love for the hunt and the wilderness spirit. This is a man of passion for the stage, for hunters' rights, and for the irreplaceable time spent with his wife and children in the out-of-doors.
I don't know if there's ever going to be a time when he's 60, 70, or even 80 years old where he can stay off the stage. It's just so much a part of him. And it is his life force, but so is hunting. If you've ever asked Ted, what do you like better, rock and roll or hunting? He'll never distinguish between the two because he needs both to survive.
So if you crave the time of your life, try to keep up with me.
There's really two sides to Ted. The serious, passionate, fire-breathing entertainer and political activist that you see. And then there's the goofball Ted that just, he comes up with things. It's funny because if we'll pick up my son from school and he has friends in the car who've never maybe met us before, met Ted before, and they'll get in the car, the first thing Ted will do is some outrageous burp or fart just to break the ice. And it's funny that you see all kinds of I think it's like a relief washing over other people when they see Ted let his guard down, because he really just wants everybody else to be comfortable and to have fun. But he's going to tell you what he thinks in the meantime.
It's an inescapable indicator that mankind truly can do anything. Because when I'm rock and roll, I'm sorry, I will burn your face off. It is the extremes of the insanity, the intensity, the irreverence, the outrage of the primal scream of rock and roll that is the exact opposite, while in many ways, at the same time, one with the primal scream of a silent, stealthy predator.
Joining Ted all the way from Maine's mid-coast is New American Sportsman host and avid outdoorsman Tom Ackerman. Also along is NAS Instant Access host Greta Gaines. From the streets of Manhattan to the stage of rock and roll, Greta joins the gang at the Spirit Wild Ranch in Texas for some full frontal nudity.
Greta!
Tom, finally, the legend, the man in the flesh.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you,
The
too.
other half of the American Sportsman team.
That's
the
right.
other player.
That's right.
Yeah, this is great.
You've been having a fun time, haven't you?
Been having a great time. How about you?
Awesome time. And I try to give people this instant access information.
That's a marriage made in heaven.
Try to demystify the outdoors, make it not this big, complicated, expensive, scary thing to get into, but sort of say, look, you can go out with not much planning, not much money, and you can have a great time.
Awesome. Give them the skills and confidence so that they can go out and do it on their own.
You got it. I think a good team, huh? You got the beauty and got the brains.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I knew he was an avid hunter. I knew he was a real avid advocate for hunters' rights. And of course, his
rock career is legendary. So I had a feeling I was going to be spending time with like a real high energy guy and a guy who's going to be real opinionated, real strong personality.
Limb rat hunting. It's like Detroit, but legal.
And so I was kind of taking a deep breath and saying, okay, here we go. Just jump in. It's 3 days with Ted and let it rock.
While Tom tunes his sights and checks his gear, Ted takes Greta on a tour of the ranch. A front row view of ecological balance on the hot seat of the Nugent-mobile.
Jack, all right, let's climb in my off-road Joy-mobile, and I'll give you a tour of the sacred haunting grounds.
When we first arrived, he gave us a tour of the place.
Your first date with Uncle Ted.
I know. This is gonna be a long couple of days. And I just was real careful of like not bringing up anything. You know, I'm like a liberal and a feminist and a woman, and I live in New York City. And the first thing he said to me is, where'd you fly in from? I said, New York City. He's like, welcome to America.
Obesity runs rampant in the city because the city can oftentimes represent a disconnect to the good Mother Earth. So you lose respect for the earth, you lose respect for your sacred temple, you lose respect for your health, and you end up as a beached whale.
He's made a life out of being in your face, being very political. I feel like he feels like he's at war against people who are threatening Second Amendment rights and who look down on hunting and look down on him in any way.
Conservation demands an intelligent, hands-on participation in the natural four seasons of nature. And again, that I even have to say this in the modern world is an indictment to those against hunting and those against gun ownership and those against hands-on nature lifestyle as a cult of denial that really is celebrating their ignorance.
Hunting is a spiritual act of balance that he uses, I believe, to temper this world of rock and roll. And it's where he recharges his battery, where he gets one with the spirit of the hunt. And I understand that this is his religion.
It's a pure act. It's as pure as birth and death and love and emotion. It's the last perfectly pure function left in life to hunt your own sustenance. It's perfect. It's gold, Jerry.
Next on the New American Sportsman.
Well, she's a blonde, she's a babe, and babe with a bow and arrow with Uncle Ted. It's like the American dream.
On DVD.
All I want to do is race.
Winner ain't the guy with the fastest car, just the one who refuses to lose.
ESPN presents 3. With over 5 hours of Dale Earnhardt interviews and races.
Go, boy, go!
Own the 2-disc collector's edition today.
If anyone's earned his Miller time tonight, it's the man in the red suit. But let's not jump the gun. He's got to navigate a vehicle. Sorry, Père Noël, it's cow juice for you. As for you, well, bring on the sugar plum fairies.
The new Kodiak 450 automatic 4x4 from Yamaha. Now get a $400 worn winch for just $69.95 on select models.
Closed captioning for selected programming is brought to you by Skechers Sport Footwear. Skechers Sport Footwear, for the guy who demands style and performance, comfort and value. Skechers Sport. Put the S in action.
ESPN2's presentation of The New American Sportsman is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life.
Just a stone's throw from the President's Ranch near Crawford, Texas, The New American Sportsman continues on Ted Nugent's Spirit Wild Ranch. This is a place away from the stage where the Motor City madman seeks spirit and balance and finds his explosive charge for life.
This is how you're supposed to get high. This is how I get high. 56 years higher than a kite beyond the pavement on the great spirit of the wild. How simple is that? Even the Motor City madman can figure that out. Excuse me.
Joining Ted is New American Sportsman host Tom Ackerman, an avid sportsman and guide. Also along is fellow musician and outdoors enthusiast Greta Gaines. Like Ted, she's not afraid to live life to its fullest.
This is the...
Today, it's learning Ted's mystical flight of the arrow.
The only thing missing now...
To see her get a lesson from him was really neat. And she was very open, very teachable, and she did fantastic.
You notice that we're only 20 feet from the target. Start close because you want to discover the archer inside of you.
Clear out of the back there, people.
Oh yeah! I use the old Apache 3 fingers under so that the arrow is coming as close from my eye in a natural hand-eye coordination sequence.
Uh-oh, the kid might be a natural. I want to try that again.
And just smoothly let it roll off. Look at that.
I think I Robin Hooded it.
I lay my arrow on the bow, whence my spirit, it must go. If I do, as I must, the backstrap of the deer, it will be a bust. Ah! My plan rocks! I anchor comfortably in the corner of my mouth, and I squeeze it off like that. That's the American dream, having your name on a projectile that will end up in the pump station of an unsuspecting beast. Human nature directs all of us to seek upgrade and increased excellence and ultimate excellence down the road. Each arrow is an immediate example of that. So Greta personified that, you know, and plus she's a blonde, she's a babe, and babe with a bow and arrow with Uncle Ted, it's like the American dream.
After a quick archery demonstration, the gang takes to the woods for Greta's first hunting experience.
I will be back here at dark. Your best bet is to just stay in the stands. There's a whole bunch of animals over there. I don't want you to educate my animals.
Gotcha.
Be as stealthy and still as you can. Observe and enjoy. If the hog comes in, watch you to kill him.
All right.
He should come to this area because there's a lot of acorns and pecans in the area.
Okay.
But you'll have a great view of everything. You can get Greta's reaction. Look at that fresh scrape right there, Tom.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
And these animals are going to come in.
All right. Hey, Hoss.
So have fun, man.
Man, shoot straight.
What now? That better?
Very handsome. Now just climb up there, be careful, sit down, and don't squeak. Uncle Ted's baptismal spirit wild fest. Have fun, now get up there.
All the things I'm not good at. Sitting still, being quiet, not moving around, and not being flashy. And that's hard for me to imagine, how he can sit there for 8 to 10 hours. I said to him, I said, doesn't this get boring? And he said, no, there's always something going on. And when I was in the stand, I remember being aware of things that I never would have seen if I weren't in a hyper-alert situation. I always thought, any moment, some game is going to show up.
we had a buck come in on us, and it went right underneath her tree.
Tom Ackerman was in his tree stand, he had his bow, and he had a shot on a buck, and I just could not control my throat, and I just started coughing.
She had a cough that she just couldn't hold back anymore, and she coughed, and and he spooked and took off. I could see she got excited as part of that whole deal. That was really neat.
Next on the New American Sportsman.
And then that last verse is a little naughty.
For over 50 years, we've made our business the business end of pure chainsaw. We build more cutting chain than anyone. World-class chain, supplied to more chainsaw manufacturers. Used on more jobs. Trusted on more saws of every size, in every situation. Oregon, legendary cutting gear.
What if our loved ones who had died could reach us through the white noise of our modern electronic devices? What if they're not the only ones who can get through? White Noise, rated PG-13, in theaters January 7th.
You know your friend Cheese? Yeah. That's a nickname, right? Yeah. He smell or something? No. Does he eat a lot of cheese? No, actually, he's lactose intolerant. Well, what's his first name? Mike. What's his last name? Jankowskevich. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, one time we were out in the boat, and he pulled out a big old chunk of Limburger, put it on a hook. Apparently catfish like stinky cheese. Catfish are so dumb.
Tony! Why don't you tell me McRib is back?
Looks like someone's got some explaining to do. McRib is back with pork, pickles, onions, sauce, and more sauce. So grab some fries and a Dr. Pepper. And don't forget the extra napkins.
Hey, if you need a tooth pulled, you call an expert. If you want to learn a rumba, you call an expert. And if you want the best digital services, you call Cox. They're experts at delivering all the coolest digital services around. And they're right here in town, too. So when I need help, instead of calling someone who will call someone and tell them to call someone, I make one call to Cox. So I get everything I need from one company without pulling teeth.
The New American Sportsman continues from the Spirit Wild Ranch near Waco, Texas. Having learned the sport of archery from Ted Nugent, Instant Access host Greta Gaines joins Tom Ackerman for a midday break from the deer stand. They decide to stalk a slightly smaller fare.
Greta's got this idea. She's got this cookbook, Ted's cookbook, and there's a recipe in there for squirrel casserole. And of course, the main ingredient is squirrels. Greta wants to go out there and harvest some squirrels for the casserole.
For this squirrel casserole, all we need are 2 limb rats, a 10-ounce package of frozen broccoli with cheese, butter, margarine, chopped onion, cream mushroom soup, rice, salt and pepper, and we'll have ourselves a squirrel casserole.
Bow hunting for a tasty fox squirrel is no easy task, but it's a great way to fine-tune your hunting skills.
But if you really want to witness the mystical flight of an arrow, squirrel hunt. It's so cool.
Back at Ted quarters, the group gathers around for one of Ted's little protein recipes.
That is delicious. Unbelievable.
Lunch with Ted is never short of a remarkable experience, served up with a taste for the wild.
I just recommend you just shut up and go hunting that I save for you, or learn from me and get more excitable, get more passionate, so people believe that you actually believe in what you're saying, instead of talking so gentle. You punk.
With their bellies full of some tasty victuals, it's time to jam.
That's like a front row seat at a Ted Nugent concert. The common thread for Ted and I was our relationship with Fred Bear, who's the father of modern bow hunting, and just a remarkable man. He's since passed away, but he touched both of our lives in a very deep way.
Spirit of the woods, he's like an old good friend. Makes me feel warm and good inside. Yeah. And I know his name. It's good to see him again. 'Cause in the wind, he's still alive. Talking about Fred Bear, walk with me down the trails again. Join you on a big hunt before too long. Before too long. Is that cool?
I'm excited about Fred
That was an emotional time for me to hear him play those songs and play that tribute to Fred, and it was just really special.
Next on the New American Sportsman.
Scared to leave all those amenities behind for your outdoor adventure? Don't be. I'm going to show you some goodies that are going to make your experience much more romantic.
From ESPN Original Entertainment and the writers of Rounders.
We're with Don Everest, known in the poker world as the Matador, for his ability to lure the young bulls into the ring and cut them down.
If we're going to hurt him in a cash game, we've got to get out of the kiddie pool and start making moves.
Whatever hand is dealt.
I've got an in with the Matador.
We're supposed to be in this together.
This game doesn't stop at the table. Tilt. Premieres Thursday, January 13th, 9 p.m. on ESPN. Presented by Toyota.
Little golden liquid applied sparingly only adds to the patina. That's a happy accident, courtesy of the high life.
Winter X Games 9, January 29th to February 1st, live at 9 p.m. on ESPN.
Presented by Mountain Dew.
Kodiak 450 automatic 4x4 from Yamaha. Now get a $400 worn winch for just $69.95 on select models.
ESPN2's presentation of The New American Sportsman is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. Instant Access, presented by Miller High Life.
So if you're looking for ways to entice that special someone into the outdoors with you, here are a couple products that might help. This is a Speedster made by Traveler Guitar. That's right, it's a little pack electric guitar. And listen, it's got pretty good tone. I love that. If you don't play music, don't let it discourage you, because you can listen to music. This iPod has battery-powered speakers. Really cool. Let's see if we can find a little Greta Gaines. Hey, I'm in here. Check it out. Oh, yeah, it's happening. The mood has been set.
A crisp new day awakens the South Texas landscape with grace and beauty. Hosts Greta Gaines and Tom Ackerman take time to visit one of the several trophy bass ponds on the property and pursue their angling passion. Meanwhile, Ted Nugent heads to one of his favorite deer hunting spots on the ranch.
What a great lesson to young people that the Motor City Madman, who's got flames coming out of his butt and is having so much fun he actually hurts from laughter, that excitable lifestyle is only attainable without poisons. You can't get this high on drugs or alcohol or tobacco. It mesmerized me. I was drawn to him like a tractor beam of appreciation and admiration. It's absolutely the altar of God's perfect creation. And I wasn't a spectator. I was in the belly of the beast, baby. How perfect is that? You know, life is not a spectator sport. You're supposed to actually play that game. And I probably could have got an arrow into him, but it would have been a marginal, less than perfect shot. You don't have to kill to hunt. Eventually I'm gonna have to kill because I can't eat photos. If that would have been my buck, I could have got him. Oh boy, that's why they call it hunting. But I will not buy chicken. I will not buy chicken.
Ted seems to have two speeds, like redlined and unplugged. You know, in many ways, we're kindred spirits as far as our love of the outdoors, our love of hunting. You know, that became apparent, you know, real quick as soon as we sat down and got to know one another.
Once you kind of get the hang of it and you start hitting those targets, there's something so satisfying about it. So having Ted teach me, I mean, it was kind of a dream, you know. It's like getting to learn from a master is really a unique and excellent opportunity.
See, beautiful.
A chance to own and manage a renewable natural resource is the basic American dream. In the land of freedom and rock and roll, the story of the new American Sportsman continues.
Yes, in between rockouts, I come here and cleanse my soul. How could I not? Perfect. Then I get my Gibson out and I remove faces at 100 paces.
Sweet.
I'm too sexy for my river.